Welcome to Toffee TV. It's the Tuesday topic here on Patreon. As always, big thanks to all you guys for getting in touch. We've had Paul, who has left us this message.
Hello gents, my question is related to the Everton manager who's about to take his team to a World Cup semi-final. Gareth Southgate has recently praised Jordan Pickford for his goalkeeping skills, but also for his ability to keep the England team moving, his ability to control and pass the ball. If 18 months into his reign, Roberto Martinez had realised that Mr. America was shot and had employed a similar goalie to Pickford, would his reign have been extended, or was his downfall more complete than that?
Thanks, Paul. Topical, with today being the World Cup semi-final, and everybody, everyone creaming themselves over Roberto Martinez. Let's just say that.
Not everyone.
Not everyone.
That. But people are.
Some people are, yeah. And obviously that's led to some people deciding that Everton jumped the gun when they sacked Roberto Martinez. Nah. I just think at the time it was where we needed that little break from each other, for him to go away and become an international manager. And yeah, but you know, the question regarding the goalkeepers, and it's an interesting one because what you've done there, Paul, is sort of join two topics together and to make one super topic, which is fine. But yeah, the goalkeeper, from my point of view, was always the big issue when Roberto Martinez was in charge. For me, that was the, you know, regardless of how we played football, you know, it was always, that was the warning sign for me, Tim Howard, because his powers of, you know, were just massively on the decline, and yet for some reason Roberto Martinez couldn't see that, and that was always a blind spot that just led me to think this isn't going to work. It was the thing in the back of my mind that first alerted me to the problems.
Yeah, I think we saw that, didn't we, over Christmas period when Howard was injured and Joel got in and had a little wobbly start, but then got better and better, and it was back out the minute Howard was fit, you know, and despite having clean sheets, 3 clean sheets in 4, I think it was, and it was a blind spot for him, there's no question about it. You know, I think if he'd have took Tim Howard out of, or if he'd have said to Tim Howard, Joel's in and playing really well, so you're just gonna have to wait, like he's had to wait for you. It's a fair way to do it, but he didn't. He put him straight back in the minute he was ready, and we've seen this with Roberto Martinez, we've seen it with Baines, we've seen it with James McCarthy. You know, Luke Garbutt was doing well at the time. Baines wasn't fit, but was fit, if that makes sense, and was back in at Spurs. We just beat Wolfsburg on the Thursday night 2-0 in a game that, you know, they hadn't lost. They'd won every game in Germany. We beat them 2-0. Garbutt had a good game, and on the Sunday we go to Spurs and he's back out the team, and Baines is in, not looking fit, and we end up losing the game. And there was incidents like that, and he done the same with, you know, the goalkeeper. So yeah, on one part of it, any goalkeeper, Joel being in earlier probably would have helped Roberto Martinez, to be fair. But what Paul's saying is an interesting point, and it's one that we've talked about before.
Well, what's quite interesting about this is Joel was better with his feet distribution than Tim Howard was.
Yeah, miles better.
And Roberto Martinez came in, first season was fantastic. I mean, there was listen, it went up and down. There were spells of it which weren't great, and then there were spells that were good. You know, we won 7 in a row towards the end, and that really catapulted us up the league table, and you know, we unfortunately we sort of just run out of legs.
But even within that though, if you want to hypercritical, break everything down, we were 6 points ahead of Arsenal with about 5 games to go, or something like that. Having just beat them,
Yeah.
we were nailed. You know, we were the ones driving the bus, and we lose to Palace and we lose to Southampton. You know, 2 teams you should be beating.
Yeah.
So we had it. You know, we took 5th from the jaws of 4th, didn't we? You know, that was how it was. But what is undeniable was we played some fantastic football.
But you know, going into the second season, you obviously wanted to play a lot more expansive. You know, John Stones in the back and playing it through the middle and stuff like that. Now, I think what Man City have shown this year is you need a goalkeeper. And I'm just referring to Man City because they won the league and they have got a goalkeeper whose distribution is maybe on par or with Jordan Pickford's, or certainly if it's not as good, it does help Man City more than.
It's better.
Okay, it's better. I just was trying to be a little bit blue tinted. Okay, fair enough.
I think it's better because only because having seen him live as well.
Yeah.
Some of the passes are just unbelievable.
What I would say about the City goalkeeper
Everton,
is that his passes help the way they play.
Yeah,
I don't think Jordan Pickford's passes last season never helped the way we play because we never used them. They're good and stuff, and you've seen that with England. England are getting the benefit. We didn't get the benefit because we just didn't have a style of play. So that's why I'm picking the Man City goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Is that when he got the ball and teams were pressing high on them, he was playing that little chip, little golf shot and things like that, and he was playing the ball through the middle. They were little flick-ons, and that was a big problem for us in that second season. That's why I'm picking him out. Is that second season, a lot of teams just looked at us and went, the goalie gives the ball to the full-back, and then to the centre-back, who are not great in distribution, Jagielka or Distan. Okay, Stones was. The full-backs are pushing high, and Barry's dropping. And if we push on Barry, and push on the centre-backs, and we can nick that ball, we're in here. So,
that's what happened. And
that's what happened quite a lot. And then, because of that, tactics changed, full-backs didn't go as high, and it affects the whole. So that starts with your goalkeeper. So if we'd had a goalkeeper of good distribution who could spot that and could see drawing the team in, and that's what Man City do all the time. That's what they were really good at last season, was drawing other teams in, thinking, because that's where they were really bad the season before. The amount of times like the Stones would get caught on the edge of the box because Bravo would give the ball to Stones or give the ball to one of the other defenders, and they get caught in possession. Whereas last season that goalkeeper was just ping, 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 ping. So if we'd had that, we'd had a goalkeeper. Forget about whether he could save or not. Saving's overestimated now anyway. It's not the main responsibility of a goalkeeper. So if we'd had a goalkeeper who could have got the ball and changed the way we played, that would have been a massive, massive help. So to have a goalkeeper who wasn't even good at kicking on the pitch, when we had another goalkeeper who was off the pitch who was on the ascendancy, that would have really helped Martinez, and he would have really benefited from it, footballing wise.
But you would have. It's because he has no interest in defending. It's that he doesn't see that thing. It's everything going that way and not enough going that way, because you have to go that way. You've got to be sure of your footing at the back, and that's
which is what Man City addressed.
That's exactly what Guardiola addressed, because they needed the keeper that could play. They needed full-backs that could get up and down so they can do both jobs, which ironically Baines and Coleman could.
Yeah.
But we didn't have a keeper who could, and we didn't have centre-backs who could. So yes, Jordan Pickford would have aided it. It would have made the difference if we'd have used them right. But we still would have been left with problems, and this is what doesn't annoy me. No, it does annoy me when people. It does annoy me when people rewrite history with, he was just unlucky. He wasn't just unlucky. Just unlucky is losing a few players and it ruining you at a time. Roberto Martinez, in his time at Everton, at John Stones, who's playing in the World Cup semi-final for England. Romelu Lukaku, who is playing in a World Cup semi-final and scoring goals, you know. He had Gerard Deulofeu, who was hot and cold, but was a good wide player. He was dangerous. We had Ross Barkley, who everyone was talking about, who had a lot of flair and ability. James McCarthy, who he didn't look after, but he also had Seamus Coleman, Leighton Baines. Go through the team, that team. When you go through that team and look around, now you go, like, no, that was a good side. That
he chose to
just
buy.
They needed a couple.
He chose to buy Foons Mori instead of
Van Dijk,
going after Van Dijk,
who wanted to come here. He was desperate to come here at that time. And
he
opted out of that.
He had Naismith, who he found a way to use him, regardless whether you thought he was a good player or not.
Then
he found a way to use him and then shipped them out at the first opportunity. So
bought Aidan McGee,
and then bought in lesser players to replace some of these players or back these players up.
Sorry, all I was going to say was what he should have done was gone, look, this is how I want to play, right? This is what I want to do, and I need to bring people in who can play that way. And he did the first season. Lukaku come in, and we had Deulofeu. Great, that was brilliant, and he should have built on that. And when it didn't work the second season, he should have built on it in the third season and gone, right, it didn't quite work last season. You know, because don't forget, in that second season, when we got beat by Stoke, we were almost in free fall at that moment. We'd lost 5 on the run, I think. We were all over the place. We went to Stoke, and I watched that game thinking, there is nothing in this team.
There was no fight.
Gone.
There was no fight, more
because they were crap.
Yeah.
And we were equally as bad. So then Aaron Lennon got on a little run, and I think we won 5 out of 6 and pulled ourselves out of it. And it was like, well, you know, there was nothing to worry about there. And you know, Lukaku scores a diving header at West Ham, second to last game, does the out, and we're all like, we're getting Deulofeu back, and we were. That was the summer. He should have done his work. He should have gone, year 1, great. Year 2, not so great. Pre-season, I ballsed up. Year 2, because he did. Because it was shocking. Yeah. It was absolutely shocking. Year 3, he should have gone, I'm getting this right. And we're doing this, and we're doing this, and we're doing this. And he didn't. He rested on his laurels. Pre-season wasn't great again. We were getting roasted at Samir, or was that the... Whatever it was. Yeah. It wasn't great. And he didn't address the areas. Now he needed to go, alright, if he couldn't have got Jordan Pickford, because he wasn't really a thing then. He was, but he was on loan and stuff. Have Joel Robles, like you say, was a better footballer, so he should have gone, the keeper's better at playing it out. I need a defender who can play with the ball. I need a more mobile. And I know money wasn't a thing, so you'd have to be creative. And that's why it wasn't a case of not having enough time, in my opinion. It was the case of him not knowing how to use what he had.
Yeah, there was so many, on a more general point, there was more problems than were just, people are just saying at the moment. There's a lot of...
Before you go on, let me ask you this, sorry to interrupt, but let me ask you this. If David Moyes had have had Roberto Martinez's team, how do you think he'd have done?
I think he would have done a lot better. I really do.
Do you think he'd have won a trophy?
I think he would have. I think if he'd had Lukaku, I think he would have won a trophy. I think he would have known how to use it a little bit better.
Sorry, that was just come back to me then. I was just thinking.
That's a good question. I think he would have known how to mix it better. Because listen, we're not going to start on Moyes, but Moyes, when the football was good, and when he had the right thing. The thing with Mahrez is, and this is what's annoyed me this week, is that people are like, some outside media and that are saying, oh, we had a bit of a bad spell. 2 years is actually a bit of a bad spell. 2 years finishing in the bottom half of the table, which we haven't done. We've done once,
twice in 15 years or something.
And the previous seasons we haven't finished in the bottom half of the table. Even Sam Allardyce finished in 8th. You know what I mean? And which felt like the worst season ever in the history of the world, ever. And we still finish 8th. But it was more than that. It was the decisions that were made during that time. The odd decisions. The decision to play Alcaraz in Kiev is one of the most baffling decisions. He played against Newcastle and we won 3-0, and everyone, what a game, and you were like, we were playing an absolutely terrible Newcastle side. and he did okay in it, but he was up against nobody. But you're going into the Lions' Den, playing a decent team, and
he could run.
What you've got to do is be strong at the back, nick a goal, and just try and stay tight. And we nicked the goal, but we never. And at half time, he never. I remember Alcaraz having a terrible first half, and everyone was like, "He's got to come off."
Yeah.
He never came off.
He played him and Christian Atsu.
Yeah, he did. He did play Christian
in a game that we had a great chance of doing well in the competition.
Yeah.
We were flying. Good shot. We didn't
want that.
No, we were flying.
Yeah.
In that tournament. Lukaku was brilliant.
Yeah.
You know, and it was we were like, we're doing well. We've got a lad who can put the ball in the net regularly. We've got Barkley in midfield. We've got, you know, even Morales was young. You're looking and going, we've got a chance here to do something in this tournament. We didn't perform very well at home against Kiev, but we beat them. You know, we missed a chance for 3-1 late on in that, I remember. But we went over there, and like you say, you know, he made those Alcaraz in Stones on the bench, you know, #Stones on the bench, Christian Atsu. So what you do is you get to half time and you go, you know, Rom scores an absolute worldie of a goal right in the top bin. You go in at half time. I think we were 2-1 down at half time, or was it 1-1? Something like that. And you come out for the second half. You should have gone in at half time, gone, John Stones, get on. Morales or whoever, you know, I can't remember who was on the bench. I just know Atsu playing, and he should have gone like, keep this tight. We're in this. These are, you know, we did the post, the bar, and we were there. They were there for the taking, and we didn't. And we come out and got destroyed. And it's when he couldn't see things like that. We had the same Man City in the semi-final.
Yeah, we did. Yeah.
Took off Delafeu, but he wasn't young.
But he was shot
3-1 up. Yeah, but he was more of a threat.
But he had Aaron Lennon on the bench.
Yeah.
And he could have stretched them. He really could have stretched them if he wanted to.
Could have, yeah. We were 3-1 up with an hour to go.
And he brought Coney on, and he was terrible. And it just gave them the incentive to just keep pushing on and pushing on and pushing on. And there was things like that. It was things like going into games or spells knowing you had certain players playing and yet not compensating for that, like still playing a certain way with players that couldn't play that way. You know, when he was at his best tactically, you know, you look at like the Arsenal game where, you know, playing Lukaku on the right and playing Naismith through the middle as the false number 9, which he basically employed the other night for Belgium. It worked really well.
We destroyed them, didn't we?
But that's when you had all your best players, and it worked completely. But when he didn't, he still wanted to play that way of football. And even like the first year we went to Anfield, and we were close to them at the time. So if we could have just got a point there or something and just kept riding the storm, and but Ross was coming back from injury, Stones was coming back from injury, we had no Seamus Coleman, but he had Hibbert. So instead of just saying, well, right, we'll play Stones in his rightful position as a centre back, and we'll bring Hibbert in to play right back, knows what derbies are all about, he's fit to play, he plays Stones at right back, but he doesn't play, he plays Alcaraz, who's not fit, played Ross that wasn't fit. And I can understand it was Admiral going up for it in a way, but it just left us wide open. It left us with too many unfit players against a good side, and it was decisions like that were just like, can't you just turn it down for once? You know, can't you just?
He done very similar in the second one, didn't he? You know, the second format, Oviedo at right back. You know, and you're like, why are you playing him at right back? I'd rather just put like Tyus Browning in or something and be like Brett, you know, or Callum Connolly or something, and go, all right, let's have a go at it. I know people might go, hang on a sec, it's a bit of a big ass, but Oviedo's so left-footed, it's ridiculous against Liverpool side at Anfield, and there was just other things in that night where you were looking and going, well, why are you playing like Gareth Barry? You got a semi on Saturday, you know, that kind of thing, and you know, there was plays you shouldn't have been playing, and it was just all a mess. And it was when if you can't identify things that are, you know, problems that are basic. I said this and at the risk of repeating myself again, when we were getting him, I remember saying to you, my biggest fear is he's conceded 270 goals in 4 years, and he's never learned from it. And if that's a manager that doesn't learn from that, then you're never going to get any better.
Well, as a manager, he's got a style of play, and I think you're seeing the fruits of it now, playing with Belgium. But he's got an absolute amazing squad.
I was going to say, that's the big thing. Let's not. It's not like he's took Saudi Arabia, got them playing fantastic, and they're in the semi-finals. And then you'd look and go, he's done well here.
He's got a great goalie. He's got good centre backs. He's got a midfield where he can change it up and he can bring a Fellaini in if he needs that kind of play. He's got Kevin De Bruyne, who's in the form of his life, Lukaku in the form of his life. He's got Hazard. He's got
Dries Mertens
in the form of his life. He's got Witsel. You know, he's got all these amazing footballers there to play with. You know, he can move people around, and he has got a tactical nous. But it's the problem with him is he's just that. I'm not one of these people who's like angry because of it. I like the man. I've always said I've liked the man. He's a nice man. He's a good fella. He does good things. He's charity and
you'd want if you wanted the manager to get it right at Everton, he was the one you'd want, because he embraced it. And he's still is so positive about Everton. He loves it, and that's great. But it's not the. It's the same with Brendan Rodgers, right? Brendan Rodgers is a very good coach. Whether people like him or they don't, or he's cringy, or he's David Brenton, and he's all of those things, he's a very good coach. Whether he's a good enough coach to be able to build a team, identify stuff, correct it without having millions and millions and millions, there's probably not that many coaches that can do that, because money, unfortunately, is the root of everything in football. But doesn't mean he's not a good coach. The same as Martinez. Martinez is a good coach. And it's if you put Brendan Rodgers in charge of Argentina or something, or whatever, he'd probably have them in the semi-finals of France.
Do you know, I think what is a really good point though is, you bring up Brendan Rodgers is a good point, because if you look at it, Brendan Rodgers is doing well at Celtic, and I understand that. You know, it's where he is it's good for him, right? But I imagine that if Brendan Rodgers tonight was taking control of France, right? Let's say he was in charge of France tonight. There wouldn't be anyone anywhere in the media or whatever going, "Oh, Liverpool should never have sacked him." There'd be nobody.
No,
because the simple fact is, his replacement has done better than he did at Liverpool, right?
Has he though?
Well, yes, he got. All right, I know. All right.
But I'm going to say,
because he's got them into Champions. He's got them in the Champions League,
he's
right?
Got them to the Champions League final.
No, Baz, come on.
Rodgers came within a week of winning the league.
I don't care. I don't care. He had one good season.
Just say.
Klopp very well. Look at Klopp. Look at the team Klopp took over from. That's what I'm saying, right? I looked at it the other day. It was horrendous, right? He's built a very, very good squad, right? He's got them to 2 European finals. Okay, he's lost them, that's fine, but he's got them back into the Champions League, and they're going to be in it next year. But my point is he's done better, right? Okay, losing the way that Rodgers lost is the equivalent of losing the Champions League finals in the league, you know. So he's done better, but so our manager's failings since Roberto Martinez has left has enabled people to look back with, you know, a different outlook. But if we'd had a manager who took over and had got us going and we were playing good football, no one would be sitting here saying.
But even our manager's failings making him look better. So we had 5th, 11th, and since we've had 7th and 8th. So even though their failings, if that's the word they used, they're still better than Martinez. The pair of them.
Yeah. But Martinez has always got the first season. But that's fine.
But that was coming off the back of a David Moyes team that had just finished.
Well, I was going to say, it doesn't matter that he's got the first season, because then in the second and third he completely bombed.
When it was fully him.
So when it was fully him, and he had, you know the Lukaku signed up.
Do you know the biggest thing with all this, Pet, is why aren't people talking about Gareth Southgate? Why aren't they slagging Middlesbrough? Because as far as I'm concerned, Southgate's done a much better job than Martinez. He's took a team less talented, got them playing, got them together, and got them playing some good football. Not amazing, but good football. We're in a World Cup semi-final for the first time since 1990, with a group of players that everyone was like, you know,
this is Belgium's golden generation.
These Belgian players, the majority would get in the majority of teams around the world. When Alderweireld and Vertonghen were fully fit for Spurs, people were saying the best centre-back pair in Europe.
Yeah.
He's got one of the best goalkeepers in Europe.
Yeah.
He's got in Kevin De Bruyne, he's one of the best midfielders, if not the best midfield player in Europe in terms of attacking creativity, ability. Witzel's a very, very good defensive midfield player. Lukaku's one of the best strikers in Europe. You'd have to say that.
Yes.
You know, Eden Hazard, all the top teams would love him. One of the best. So going through Dries Mertens is fantastic for Napoli. So there's so many, even players like Carrasco, a good Michy Batshuayi is a good talented player. You know, like Januzaj is one of them. International football probably suits him a little bit because it's a bit slower, but he's got a lot of technical ability. They've got fantastic footballers. And when you've got it, we said this when Martinez was struggling at Everton. If you airlifted him out of Goodison and dropped them in the new camp, they would be brilliant because he had Messi and he'd have Suarez and he'd be able to pass it because they're all comfortable. He'd be brilliant. It doesn't mean he's a great manager for the Premier League, and if Everton had kept him, we would be in the top 4 with the money. We might be, but I'd bet against we wouldn't. I'd bet against we wouldn't probably be much better than where we are, if not a little bit worse, because we'd just be so wide open. We saw that how wide open we were at times last season. It was scary. So, like I say, right, like I just said at the start of my point then, for me, Gareth Southgate's done a much better job and should be getting lauded the same way.
I don't think anyone's got the right to rewrite history in the way that it has been, because
we've had a kicking, haven't we, off the media for a few months.
Nobody. I don't give a. I don't really care how good Belgium do, but no one can come back. No one can come back and tell me that at 2-0 up in a game against West Ham with only 10 men, right? And you've got the chance to shut the game up by bringing a defensive-minded player on, whether it be Barry or whoever, and then you bring a lad on who has hardly kicked the ball in vain in the Premier League, has hardly done anything for the club, and then you say, go front, lad. I mean, we've only got 10 men, but go up front. Do you know what I mean? When, for me, a serious manager would have got that game shut up. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. If you'd had a wise old head on the bench who was a striker, who could have gone on and stretched the game, say, or dropped in.
Well, if Nias was now.
Okay, well, if Nias is now, fine,
if Nias was the way he is now, because he is that now, he runs into channels. But didn't he put him on with Roma first?
He did, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
So we went 2 up front when he never played 2 up front anyway.
But he wasn't up front. He was sort of off drifting.
He was lost, wasn't he?
And he was completely lost. And this is what I'm saying. This is game management. This is about. It
would have made more sense if he'd have took Lukaku off. Not saying he should have done, but if he'd have took Lukaku off and gone to Nias, just go and run into corners, mate, and left the shape. But at least didn't he take off Aaron Lennon? Was it, or someone like who would shut the right hand side down?
Yeah. So, and that's where he played him. I think he played him on the right, and suddenly
Cresswell, wasn't it?
We'd gone from control.
Total control.
I know Ron missed the penalty. That's fine, but we're still 2-0 up. And then it's literally as soon as that sub happened, and the team probably went, what?
Who's covering?
We're all fighting for this game, for this, 10 men for 80 minutes. We ended up being, and you're thinking things like that can never be rewritten. The way we felt at the end of that game can't be rewritten.
It was knowing that when they went 2-1, they'd win. The fella next to me, I said to him, "These will win this," and he went, "Nah," and I went, "We've gone." You could tell our players were like looking. It was wave after wave, and when it was no surprise they equalised and no surprise Payet scored. He just went, "Seeing that coming, yeah." And it was bizarre. But
you couple that up with
the Arsenal game when the one for me.
The week after we
just beat Chelsea. We just knocked Chelsea out in the quarter-final. We were buzzing, and we played them at home, and we were all over the place. Players were arguing, no one knew where they were arguing with him. He had Coleman and Stones in midfield at one stage. There was just, we had 3 players on the right-hand side at one stage as well. He had Lennon, Delafeu and Coleman all running into each other. It was just a mess. I remember saying to you, he's gone, his head's gone, because there was no plan. There was no plan.
Anfield, you know, 3 days before the semi-final, and the team was lifeless.
Yeah, totally.
One of the most embarrassing performances I've ever seen. Well, you've never seen the My Reaction video.
Go watch it.
And then on the Saturday, that led to the Saturday semi-final, a big game against a Man United team that were easily beatable. And yet, we had problems, and we had to play Gibson and we had to play Bessage at right back. But it wasn't that. It was the fans fighting with each other, because half of them hated them. Well, I think secretly most of them hated them, but half of them were like, it's a semi-final, can we just back the team? And the others were like, how can you back a team with this fella in charge? How can you get behind a team that hasn't got a clue what it's doing? You know, how can you, you know,
toxic,
it was that first half was horrible. It was one of the, you know, you're at Wembley and people are fighting, with each other.
Oh.
And that come from him. And then, you know, we've all seen the Jagielka and Ross Barkley walking down the tunnel, and Jag's having to say to Ross, that's not for you, that's for him.
It's mad, isn't it? It's mad.
But the players knew.
But then when they come out, the crowd, our crowd did react to that. When we come back out, it was as if everyone just went, right, we've got 45 minutes to help them. And the noise went up, and then the second half we battered them.
But that's what we've always said.
Well, Ron shit the bed that day.
That's what, of course you did. I'm not taking, you know, we know that, but that's what we said. We said if he'd sacked them that week, that semi-final would have been a much different atmosphere.
If Royal and Unsworth would have had it, I think we'd have beat them. I honestly do.
Because I know people would have gone, well, Royal and Unsworth, but the team would have picked itself, and the players would have gone out and done their jobs. But the
crowd would have been with them from the first second.
Imagine Joe and Unzi walking us out at Wembley there, and suddenly you're thinking the pride's back. But also during that season, the players, you know, don't forget, the players fell out with them before the fans did.
Yeah.
You know, the players, he lost the players first.
Well, he'd lost them with Distan.
Well, he lost them because of Distan, going back to the initial, how we started this video, Distan effectively turned around and said, we can't play like this. You need to change this. And he wouldn't listen. And that's clearly, I think, one of the reasons why he left Tim Howard in goal, because Tim Howard was backing him in the dressing room when other players weren't. And Distan was a big popular fella in the dressing room. And I'm not saying Tim and Distan didn't get on. I'm just saying that Tim was probably more like, no, we've got to stick with him. He's our manager. We've just got to do, and that's probably what kept him in goal. But later on the season, don't forget, like, remember Leighton Baines at Old Trafford after the game when we got beaten, him coming out going, this is not right. And obviously that's when we seen like flags in support of Leighton Baines and things like that. When Leighton Baines was apparently had to apologise for what he said. You know, but
he's look at the derby at Anfield when Martin has to tell him something, and he's like that. Like drinking it, and that's Baines, who doesn't cause anyone any problems, was like looking and probably just going, for fuck's sake, get this fella out, because players don't need much to take the foot off the pedal. If they see that the manager's a chancer, or not even a chancer, it just isn't listening. The best managers have their philosophy and will play, but they'll also go to the players, watch it. We've both watched that Trainer documentary. That fella sits, the mad one who's he's boss, like, but he's Schmidt, isn't he?
Yeah.
He sits down with his players round the table, doesn't he? With like 3 or 4 of them, and they're going, well, what's it? And that one, a couple of them are going, but I don't like the way we do that. And he's like, right, okay, but we do it because, and they're having a back and forth, and he goes, yeah, all right, what's that? Because that's what the best managers do. They go, look, we play like this. What aren't you comfortable with? Now, this time was probably saying, well, Gaffer, last season, you know, when we nearly finished 4th, we were getting it to the ball, because if you think about the way Everton, yes, they did play more football, but we were able to defend. Our defensive record was incredible. We had something like the 3rd best defensive record, and we went from that to, there was one stage where Tim Howard hadn't saved a shot. They'd had like 12 shots, they'd all gone in.
But the thing about it is, though, and this is what's funny, is that he went out and bought like you know, he looked at the defence and thought, right, it's not right or whatever. And he went on buffoon to Murray, an untried player who he was fucking crap. He was crap. All right, he started all right.
All right.
Oh, he was crap as.
He was no. Hang on. Let's listen. He was okay, but if he was up against a clever set. This is what I think about Maguire. I know that you like Harry Maguire. In a battle, Harry Maguire at the weekend against Sweden, because that bag was, he was absolutely brilliant. He loved that, getting in his face, winning tackle, fantastic. Have that all day. The minute he comes up against the player, he will go, what, I'm gone. Murray's the same. Murray would go, win an header, lad, go, all right, so you go behind.
What I'd say about someone like Maguire is, though, positionally, he knows where he is.
Probably, listen, you know I don't defend.
Murray just didn't know where he was. But what I'm saying, but
why didn't he just buy it? All right, if he didn't think Van Dijk could do it, which is bizarre at the time, but fair enough. Why didn't he just go and get like an English centre back who would just head it away and just go, you know what? I'm gonna do this, but he didn't, because he wanted this. Will play this way, and that's great, but go back and watch the videos, look and go, hang on, last season why were we so much better? Oh yeah, because we weren't taking chances. Yeah, Gareth Barry was on, like you said right at the start, teams went, well, he gets the ball all the time, so press him. So you have to evolve then. So you have to evolve and go, right, well, if he's going to get it all the time, we're putting men on him, how can we break that up then? And what you do is you create different angles. Don't you? You create different angles. If your number 6 is coming to get the ball and they're pressing on them, they can't commit half the team, because if they do, you do what City do, just dinker over the 5 and they're under the cosh. So you pull your fullbacks right back in and they'll take it, or you go long, you get a big lad with Rom and you go, you know what, we're going a bit more direct. And he didn't, and that was what was great about Moyes, was that he would go direct if he had to, so teams wouldn't know whether to go in or to drop off, because if we go in, he's just going to knock it to Fellaini or Bale. Let's hope
that Marco Silva uses Jordan Pickford
the way he can be.
The way he can be used.
I think Rom would have loved Pickford. I do. I think Lukaku would have benefited,
especially those sidewinders.
That's the side ones. I think he'd have been in, and it was a pity because we didn't have.
Because we early on in the season we used them, and again, the Man City game. He used them between him and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They used them so effectively and got they turned Man City so quickly that we just didn't use it enough, and wasn't really used under Allardyce either. But yeah, listen. People can rewrite history all we want. We know. I was at Sunderland for his last game, and we got beat by Sam Allardyce team 3-0, and we never laid a glove on them. Never laid a glove on them.
And that had come 3 days after embarrassing ourselves with Leicester. No, Leicester had won the league, but they weren't. They were all bevied.
I was at both of those games, and
Leicester were bevied. They was even said they were like thingy, and we didn't get near them.
No,
we didn't get near, and that was embarrassing. And just ask yourself, if you're one of those people who is now looking and going, you know what, maybe we did. Ask yourself how you felt the Norwich City game. Because I know when I walked to Goodison that day, I had a spring in my step, and I hadn't done all that season. And I sat down, and Unzi and Royal at the team, and listen, the players done it, not them, but the players come out. We had Tom Davis playing, Kieran Dowell, John Joe Kenny come on, you know, and all of a sudden there was this vibrance and this snapping into tackles, and we won the game 3-0 at an absolute canter, you know, and it was like, we're back now. And that for me was the thing. I'd lost interest in it because it did never get any better, and we have to move on. And the irony of it all is we finished 3 and 4 places higher without him in charge, with a manager, with 2 managers who, okay, I'd rather have Koeman than Allardyce any day of the week. But Koeman, did he fully convince? No. Allardyce certainly didn't, but we still finished top 8. So
let us know your thoughts anyway in the comments. Have you do you feel slightly different about Roberto Martinez because of his Belgium exploits, or are you like us, when you think back you just go, yeah, that was fucking terrible?
Lovely fella though.
Lovely fella. Smell
beautiful. I loved this. I like the way he drank as well. Coffee as well. He loved it. Pinky was up. Great fella.
Don't forget how rough he was towards the end as well though. How rough he looked.
Well, he's got no hair now, has he?
I know.
He's full on destroyed him. Mitchell. We've destroyed the poor fella. Came with a head of hair and left with that hair on.
Yeah, that's what we do.
If you're looking at rough, look at Koeman. No.
I know. Yeah.
There you go.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you later.